I moved halfway across the country to, am I doing anthropology in my day-to-day life? What I do for work. So that's one thing that I do on the side. Oh, gosh, where do I even begin? The ways that I am and am not using my anthropology degree. I wanted to get a PhD in biological anthropology. The thing that sent me in a different direction is swallowing that pill was so difficult for me. And ultimately when I did have that conversation with myself, I think I became a lot more aware of what I wanted to do. Where is this channel going next? Hello everyone, welcome back. It feels so good to be sitting here and making a video for you for this channel. And yeah, it's been a while. I'm back. I'm ready to talk. I'm ready to fill you guys in. And I think the first thing that you may or may not notice is that I am in a new space yet again. And we're going to dive into, again, me disappearing. We're not going to make it a whole drama. Okay. But I am going to fill you guys in. But yeah, the first thing is that I'm actually in a new space right now. It feels so recent, but it's not. So for the entirety of this channel, this Anthropology by Alivia channel, it started in LA and then it just existed there. All my videos were created there for years. I want to say 4 years maybe of just all of my content being created in my college bedroom, and then in my first apartment after graduating college, and then in my next apartment after graduating college, and all of that was in LA. But during the time that I took off from this channel, a lot has changed in my personal life and all that kind of stuff. But one of the biggest changes is in August of 2024, I moved halfway across the country to Texas. And that is a huge change from LA. I mean, honestly, even after being here for 8 months, literally could not be more different than where I was living before. And that's just been a huge personal life change, a big transition. And so that's actually why I'm in a completely new space. This is not only a new room, it's a new apartment in a completely different part of the country. And yeah, to put it short and sweet, this was not a move that I wanted to make when it came about. And so honestly, it really threw me and my ability to create content efficiently and figure out what I wanted to do and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, I kind of lost track of the videos that I wanted to make and the content that I wanted to make because I was coming to terms with this move, which I'm now very, very happy. I'm doing very well. I'm happy to be here, all of that kind of stuff. But as I'm sure many of you know, moving is a huge change. It's a huge transition. And so I've just had to take some time really adjusting to my new state, my new space, and all of that kind of stuff. Some of you might already know because I have been active over on my second channel where I just read silly little books and make silly little vlogs, and it is so much fun. Very low pressure, just a good time. That feels like just pure joy and happiness to me. So it's very easy for me to create, not very easy, but it is much easier for me to create content over there versus over here. I feel like I've kept it very educational, very academic, very professional for years at this point. And so, yeah, here we are. I am in Texas. I'm filming for you guys, and we're going to go on a little journey together and we're going to figure this out. As I'm sure you're noticing, maybe not, I don't know. I'm trying to keep this video pretty raw, pretty uncut. I think there are, and again, we're going to get into this, but there are some goals and things that I want to achieve with this channel moving forward. Not everything has been decided yet. Real quick, let's just start out with, we'll address the elephant in the room. I created a video almost a year ago now saying, hey everyone, I'm back. I'm back on YouTube. So sorry that I took a little bit of a break there, but I'm back. And then I think I made like 3 videos and then I disappeared again, and I'm so sorry. And the short of it is that I took some time to try and figure out what kind of content I wanted to create on this channel, and I thought that I like worked it all the way through and then I figured it out. Once I started making videos again, I realized that I didn't have any idea what I wanted to be creating, because again, the ideas that I was having and the brainstorms that I was doing, it felt like work. And this channel never felt like work when I was in college, but once I graduated, it started to feel like that. And it's been, oh gosh, several years now since I've graduated from school. And I think a critical part of that is when you're in college, or at least for me when I was in school, you have classes like kind of scattered throughout the day. Your friends are like in the room over, in the dorm over. Your life is very full, it's enriched, but it's also very broken up. And so when I switched over from kind of squeezing in filming videos and editing in between classes and in between clubs and all that kind of stuff, when I switched over from doing videos like that to working a 9 to 5 and having to like research and film and all of that kind of stuff before work, on my lunch break, after work, and then like see your friends, see your family, all of that kind of stuff, it was hard. Like I don't know exactly how to describe it in the way that I experienced it, but it was tough because you're working all day long. I try very hard on things. And then it was difficult to be done with work and start another educational project that, was very intensive on my brain, if that makes sense. Like I have to deeply research everything that I share. I always want to be sharing accurate information. I memorize everything. So when I'm talking and explaining concepts, I want to make sure that I genuinely know those concepts back to front so I can be the best possible teacher on the internet. That's like my whole thing, right? I don't like it when people are very obviously reading a script. Like I don't like it. I get bored. I want to feel like they're interested in what they have to talk about. And in my case, that's anthropology. Okay. I'm so sorry. I'm getting a little bit cold. So we're going to actually pull this over here. We're going to get comfy. And so when it comes to anthropology, I was so enthusiastic. I was obsessed, which I still love it to this day, but obviously things are a little bit different now. And it was so fun and easy to just like talk about it and squeeze it in between my classes. But when I was working, it was like very tough to memorize everything and research everything. And I also lost access to a lot of these sources that I had for free as being a part of an institution. And so, yeah, things just like over time got harder and harder. And so when I took this first break, I was trying to figure out, how can I maximize my own interests, my time, the things that my viewers are interested in. Like, how can I make this transition? And so I took some time off. I thought about it a lot and came back, made some videos, and I was like, crap, this still isn't working. What do I do? So then I took a little bit more time to think and then enter this big move to Texas, which again, originally I was having a really hard time with. And so the videos didn't go out and then it just completely stopped. And again, I'm sorry, I'm not going to turn this into some big thing, but I know that there are people who are curious. I'm still getting so many comments and, like very kind, sweet comments from you guys and questions on my videos. And it's just so sweet to see this community has still been growing, even as I've taken time like offline and off the camera to grow myself. And I'm just so grateful. So thank you so much. I hope that provides some explanation of like where I've been and what I've been up to. I don't want to get into it like too deeply because I feel like that's kind of boring and just like nobody really cares that much. I care about like at the internet. Now, I've been planning my return to this channel for a very long time. I hope you know that. I think about it all the time because I love this channel. This is where my love of YouTube really started. And so I was on a plane like 2 months ago planning out all of the different new videos and episodes and stuff that I wanted to do on this channel. And so I have all my notes right here. And this first video back is just I want to catch up. I want to fill you guys in, really get down to the nitty gritty, because I feel like throughout the time that I throughout the time that I created this channel, people are interested in the anthropology major. They want to know not only what it is and why it matters, but what you can do with it. And I do feel like there's some value in sharing with you guys what I've been up to. Am I doing anthropology in my day-to-day life? Have I completely abandoned it? How do I feel about it years out of college? What's it really like out there in the real world and all of that kind of stuff? So I don't know, like I said, I thought there would be some value in this and sharing just my experience and what I've been up to. So that's what we're going to do. Like I said, I do have some notes here that are a little bit chaotic because I get a little bit anxious on planes. And so this was my way of distracting myself, but it's pretty good stuff. So this is where we're going to start. So the first thing that I would love to talk about is what I do for work. And if you've been around for a while, my work has in some ways changed, but in other ways remained exactly the same. I still work as an e-learning associate. That is my job title for a company called Socratica. And Socratica is a YouTube channel here on YouTube. They do many other things as well, but I think what they are best known for at this point in time is their YouTube channel. They do all kinds of STEM content. If you guys are interested in coding and Python, they have videos about that. If you're interested in chemistry, they have videos about that. We're actually now working on videos about finance and quantitative finance more specifically. So if you're interested in like becoming a quant, go check them out. So yeah, I work for them, but everything that I just shared with you is their adult content. I actually have primarily worked for them on their kids content. So this company also has a nonprofit called the Socratica Foundation, and they make educational videos for kids, and it is great. I think, the educational content for kids specifically on YouTube is really limited because you can't monetize it nearly as well as other kinds of content. So there's less incentive for people to make videos for kids because you can't profit from it as well. So to be working on educational videos for kids feels really good because I know that there's not a lot of people doing that, or there are, but there's not nearly as many as there should be. We'll leave it at that. That's an opinion. And so over the last, I want to say year and a half, my main focus has been these videos for kids. And so my 9 to 5 basically has been researching these different series that we're going to do. So I remember my first series that I did with them was all about animals. So I think it was like a 12 video series. This is all on their YouTube channel, by the way. It's called Socratica Kids. You will hear me in the videos. And yeah, we did it all about animals. And so I spent quite a bit of time. I mean, it's my job. So a lot of time researching different animals, different, groups of animals that we could talk about. So we did like the 8 largest animals on Earth. And I know we did a video on cats and I don't know, just anything in that sphere. And we did 12 of them, and they're very education heavy. Like it's very fact filled. Like literally every single sentence is something new about the animals that we're talking about, which I think is really great. I think kids are so much smarter than we give them credit for. And it's been really nice to be pushed in that way, to be like, how much can we really pack into a video in a way that kids are still like enjoying it, and having a good time with it. And so, yeah, that is what I've been working on. I did that series like over a year ago now. And now I can't remember the order if I'm being completely honest with you, but a little bit after that, I did a series all about natural disasters. So we released a set of 12 videos for kids. These ones are targeted at a little bit older. So I'd say like middle school aged students. And yeah, so we did a video, primarily me, and then my bosses, they are great and review everything, but I'm definitely doing the most work on the video. I'm researching, I'm scripting, I'm narrating, I'm editing, everything. So we did natural disasters, and that was fun because I learn a lot when I do these videos. So I did a video on tornadoes. I did one on earthquakes. I did one on avalanches. I did one on there's so many mudslides, whirlpools, like all of these different things. And it was a blast. And I keep telling my friends, I'm like, somebody take me to trivia because I have so much random knowledge in my brain now that I'm not going to forget. Like it's fascinating. And so yeah, animals was one, natural disasters was one. We did another animal series, another batch of 12, and I'm missing a big one. It'll probably come back to me. It is not right now. I'm sure it will. And then what I'm currently working on is algebra. So kind of pretty different from, I guess what I was working on before was more science for kids. Now I'm switching and doing a little bit more math for kids. And I really, really have enjoyed it. I was able to get this opportunity because I was making educational content on YouTube for fun. And that ultimately led me to this opportunity. And it's not anthropology exactly, right? Like I feel like anthropology, especially in the academic sense, is papers and studies and interviews and ethnographies, all about understanding a person or a small group of people. And I can't say honestly that I'm doing that right now, but I feel like there are a lot of skills that I learned from my anthropology degree that I am using in this job. It's very, you have to think about what people want, what kind of value can you offer? You have to think about the ideal person you're creating content for, all of that kind of stuff. And so there's a lot of like human psychology and how do people think, how do kids learn, that kind of stuff that I gained from my major that I'm bringing into this career path. But it's very different than what I did in school. And I'm really, really enjoying it. So I feel like that is the first big thing when it's like, what are you doing? Like, are you working? Are you an anthropologist? What's going on? That's what I'm doing. That is my 9 to 5. I primarily do educational video production, primarily for kids. Again, because this company is so small, I end up wearing a lot of hats. So I dip my toes in their marketing. I dip my toes in, creating the thumbnails for these videos. I've done work on helping to sell courses. They bundle a lot of these videos and they have supplemental like downloads and learning materials into courses. So you can like watch all their videos online for free, or you could get an even better and immersive experience if you, sign up on their website and you get like the worksheets that go along with it, all of that kind of stuff. I'll try to remember to link some of these resources below if any of you guys have like kids, because that's again the main thing that I do. But yeah, it's been really good. I feel like I've learned not through a degree, but through work and through college and through just doing things that make me happy and things that I like to do, that I love to educate people. I love to create enjoyable content and all of that kind of stuff. And that's kind of where I've been. That's what I've been up to. And on the side of that, so, okay, bear with me, guys. So I like to keep myself busy, okay? Especially when I moved to Texas because I didn't know anybody except for my boyfriend. And so I'm doing this 9 to 5, 8 hours a day, okay? And then what am I going to do after work? I like to keep myself busy. And so in addition to that, when I was trying to figure out where I want this channel to go, one thing that I do know about myself and that I'm very in touch with is the fact that I love to read. And I don't really love to read the heavy educational, academic, nonfiction books. I think they're interesting, right? But I am a reader girl at heart. I love books. I love romance books. I love fantasy books. I love literary fiction books. I love classics. You name it, I probably love it. I like thrillers. They're not my favorite, but like I do enjoy them. I read a few every single year, and I'm staring over at my giant bookshelf right now. And so one thing that I have done after work and pretty routinely for a while now is work on my other YouTube channel where I talk all about books, and I do reading vlogs, and I spin for my monthly TBRs all the books that I want to read the next month. And at the end of the month, I film wrap-ups and I review all of the books that I read. And it is so much fun. And that takes up quite a bit of time. I can't even lie. Like if you're doing reading vlogs, okay, you have to actually read the book, review the book, edit the vlog, and most times there's more than one book in the vlog. So like minimum however many hours it takes to actually read the book, and then you have to freaking put the whole video together. So those videos actually do take quite a while to create, and I love them. Like I said, they're so fun and silly and enjoyable, and it just embraces this like more feminine side that I have, and this very like escapism oriented part of myself versus like education and professionalism and all of that stuff, because that's a huge part of me too. But that's been really, really fun to just like lean into and enjoy. And that's a whole separate community over there, and it is an absolute blast. And so that's one thing that I do on the side, which is lovely. And then in addition to those two things, hold on, my camera is the storage is about to fill up, one sec. But in addition to my full-time job and my book channel and this channel, which again, I haven't been working on, I also love music. I grew up doing musical theater. I did choir. I'm missing one, a cappella, you name it. I probably did it. I did songwriting, singing, all of it. I play guitar, ukulele. I dabble in some other instruments, but I would not say that I'm fluent in them by any means. And so I grew up doing all those things. I love them. And I've been fortunate enough to have a connection in my life that I do independent contractor work for. So this woman that I work for, she's a musician. You guys can listen to her music on Spotify if you would like. And over many years, I have done different projects with her. I've worked on different things, and I'm, again, really grateful to have that opportunity. And the amount of work that I do as an independent contractor for that definitely fluctuates because it completely revolves around my work and my other like hobbies and stuff. It's like when I can fit that in, I do. But obviously, like my full-time job comes first. Oftentimes my YouTube channels have come first in the past. It's been a little bit different lately, and I'm trying to fix that. We're trying to spin that around a little bit. But yeah, I work on that. And so for her, if you're wondering, because music is obviously like a huge range of things. I could be doing a million things. Gosh, where do I even begin? So many musicians write music to be released on Spotify, right? And that's where their music goes, and it's like, hopefully it goes viral, whatever. But there are other musicians whose goal is to write music and get their music into film and TV. And so in order to do that, it is a pretty, I don't want to say like, well, no, I do. It's a long and arduous process because there's so much that you have to learn and so little that's publicly available online. But this whole process of creating, like getting a song from your home or like from your studio into a movie, that whole like process and world is called sync licensing. And so what I do is I work for this woman, helping her with sync licensing. And so it's basically my job to help get the music into what's called music catalogs. And so I'm going to backtrack a little bit because I'm realizing that I'm not explaining this super, super well. So I'm going to try a little bit better. The process of sync, basically, let's say like I'm a musician and I write a song and I want it to be in a movie. Okay. I need to first, I don't go directly to like a music supervisor of a film. Maybe some people do if you've got those kinds of connections. I don't. And so what I do is I help this musician send her music to like the next step down, basically. And the next step down is called music catalogs. And so what I do is I email a lot of different music catalogs, whoever's running this part of the music catalog, I email them and I say, hey, like these are our tracks. We think they're a great fit for your catalog. Let us know what you think. And so if you can get your music into these they're not publishing companies, but into these like music catalogs, music libraries, these are where film and TV go to source their music. So a lot of times it's not like you write a song for the movie. The movie will go and look for music to like put in it. And they will reach out to music catalogs. They'll say, hey, like, let's say there's a music catalog called Alivia's Library, which makes no sense, but we're going to roll with it. You would go to this music catalog and say, hey, I'm making a thriller movie and we want like a really eerie and intense song for this scene with these instruments. What do you got? And so the catalogs will say, hey, like we have this list of songs, like we think it could be good for your movie. And so as a musician, the goal is to get your songs into catalogs. So then there's a better chance that when film and TV are looking for songs, they pick yours. They're like, oh, this one's the best match. That's kind of a simplified version of the whole process. And so, yeah, when I have time, and it again completely revolves around the other things that I have going on, work for her and help get those songs into different music catalogs. And we've had some success getting her music into music catalogs. We've yet to get chosen by film and TV, but like I said, it's kind of a long process, so I'm not too concerned about that yet. But yeah, those are kind of all the main work things that I have like been up to. That's like where I've been. That's how I keep myself busy, all of that kind of stuff. And it's been really good. It's been really positive for the most part. I mean, there's up days and down days and all of that kind of stuff, but that's what I've been getting up to. Honestly, I wasn't even fully planning on just like talking about work and like what I've been doing professionally in this first video back, but I think it's been really good because it kind of shows you, the ways that I am and am not using my anthropology degree. I did not decide to go completely academic, which was my original plan. Like I wanted to get a PhD in biological anthropology and just freaking go. I wanted to research. I wanted to be a professor, teach other students. Like that was the dream, guys. And by the end of college, I felt pretty burned out and I didn't know if that was the direction that I wanted. And I think the thing that kind of the thing that sent me in a different direction is I had quite a few friends that I had made during my time at UCLA who were PhD students. So I didn't only interact with undergrads, but some of the PhD students that I knew that I had become friends with, like literally hated being a PhD student. And every time I talked to them, I'm like, well, if you're so unhappy, then why are you doing this? And the response that I would pretty consistently get was, I'm doing this for the joy that I can feel when I'm done. So it was like, you're doing this degree so you can hopefully be happy when you're done with the degree. And this isn't only in anthropology. This was across multiple disciplines. This is anthropology, psychology, biology. Like I heard this from a lot of different PhD students. And so I really, really struggled with that in my senior year because I was like, do I want to do something where I'm potentially unhappy for 5 to 8 years so I can hopefully be doing something that I like afterwards? Like that, swallowing that pill was so difficult for me. And some people it's perfect for them. Like I have other friends who are now that were in my same undergrad year that are now getting their PhDs and they are absolutely killing it. And they seem like stressed, but also happy to be there. And so, yeah, it's perfect for some people. But for me, I was like, do I really want to live life like that? I didn't know, but my instincts were telling me that I didn't. And I think once my conscience and subconscious had a little conversation and I figured out, what was going on, I decided that I didn't want to go the academic route with anthropology for the hope of joy after. And I think the other thing too is once you get that PhD, you apply for jobs everywhere. It's so competitive to actually get a job doing anthropology that you can be placed anywhere. Like, let's say I'm applying for jobs. I can't be picky. I can't say I want to be a professor of biological anthropology only in LA or only in California. No, that's not how that goes. If you want to teach or do research, you have to apply everywhere. So let's say I got a job in New York. I don't want to live in New York. I know that's like the dream for a lot of people, but I did not want to live in New York. That's so far away from my family, or other place, or Oklahoma, my now current new state neighbor. What if I got a job there and didn't want to move there? Like, you don't have a choice. You have to go where the job takes you. And I'm not that kind of person. Like, if I'm being so honest, like, I love being comfortable with my friends and my family and my boyfriend and all of that kind of stuff. I was like, I just don't think that I am so career oriented for that thing. For the right thing, I think I'm extremely career and professionally oriented 100%. But for something like that, I was like, I don't know if I can move to like North Dakota. No shade to North Dakota people. I'm sure it's beautiful, but just like the idea of being like far and isolated from my family doing something that's like very stressful and academic, I was like, I don't know if I can do that. And so that's something that took me a really long time to figure out. And ultimately, when I did like have that conversation with myself, I think I became a lot more aware of what I wanted to do. And it's difficult when you have a YouTube channel completely devoted to this field of study that you love. And ultimately you decide that maybe you don't want to do that in an academic, it starts with a C. This is going to come to me later. But like in an academic setting, capacity, that's it. I didn't want to do it in an academic capacity. I did the research thing in college. It was cool, but I was stressed. It's difficult to have a channel where, that's your journey with the major and the degree is all online. It's all public and people look to you for advice and they look to you as the role model. And I'm so grateful. And I hope that I've like done anthropology justice. Like, I try so hard to make it so accessible on here, and I really hope that I've been able to accomplish that. But the reality of the situation is I have in some ways gone a little bit of a different direction. It turns out that I love teaching people and I love video production. I love editing also. Like, I just give me your videos, give me your files, send it my way so I can edit it and chop it all together. I love that. And it just took me quite a while to figure that out. And I think all of that together, it took me a long time to feel comfortable talking to the internet about that, which I know it doesn't sound that hard, but it is. It can be a little bit challenging to come out and say, hey, I've gone on a slightly different path. I'm moving in a slightly different direction, but everything that I've done up to this point, including doing anthropology in college, which I have no regrets about, studying anthropology, making a YouTube channel all about it, all of that, that feels so nice. All of that has gotten me to where I am now, and I'm so grateful for that. And so I think all of that is to say, I've been yapping. And if you're still here, I'm so grateful for you. Thank you so much for sticking around, for listening. I am so grateful and so appreciative of you. All of that is to say, where is this channel going next? This happens all the time on YouTube. I feel like I see creators all the time making pivots. I feel like I am deeply integrated into the world of BookTube. Or if you are not familiar with BookTube, just making content about books. I eat that stuff up. It's my favorite. Again, my channel, my other one will be linked down below. And I see people make pivots on there all the time. They're like, ugh, I'm sick of books. I'm sick of reading. I'm going to do more lifestyle, or I'm going to do more of this genre or whatever. Like, people make changes all the time. And you see that in other niches all the time. And so I don't know why that feels so scary to do, but it totally does, because this whole community is built on anthropology. And no matter what this channel becomes moving forward, it's always going to have this base of anthropology. Anthropology is who I am, like how I talk to people, how I hold myself in everyday conversation. The things that I value all come from this degree that I have, and I'm so grateful for. I still think that everyone should be forced to take at least one class in anthropology before graduating, but that's a topic for another day. I can feel myself yapping away and getting on another tangent, and I'm so sorry. This is why there's value in me just being given one topic or one keyword and explaining it in like 10 minutes. Otherwise, I can do this all day long. But yeah, so trying to get to this point of where are we going? What's this channel doing? Where are we heading? And I think the big reason that it was really tough for me to film this video is because I don't know. I think what I do know is I want this to be like the Alivia channel. I want it to be more about me, what I'm up to, what I am trying to accomplish personally, professionally. Why does that sound so weird? I think I've been talking too long that like my words are starting to sound weird. And I think we're going to be structuring this, at least in the beginning, a bit more like a podcast. So I have quite a few episodes planned out. I will give you a bit of a preview right now, which I think I did. Oh no. I think I did that a little bit in the last video that I came back, which to this day, and it's upside down. To this day, I am quite a bit embarrassed about, because I tried really hard to not do that and I still did do that. So I'm so sorry. But in this first episode, I have Let's Catch Up. And literally, I only made it through the first bullet point in this whole episode, which was about working. Did not make it through the whole rest of this list. You probably noticed I didn't open this iPad once. So my bad about that. So that's probably going to be the rest of that will be in another episode. Another thing that I would love to talk about is my experience moving halfway across the country and not knowing a single person, just like what that was like for me, tips and tricks, things that I've learned. And I broke that up into multiple parts. So like part 1, part 2, because so many people go through that and it's so hard. And so I would love to talk about things that just like I've been through and like share some value on those things, because I feel like I've gotten to a really good place now, but it is so tough. So those are things that I really want to talk about. Another thing that I would love to talk about is how to successfully work from home. It's something that I've been doing for several years now, and I am a huge extrovert. So working from home fully remote was a big transition for me. So I would love to talk about that, tips and tricks, my experience. That's another episode I have planned. And then this next one that I would love to do is I want to be doing interviews. And I think if I can sustain it, that's the thing that I really want this to become, is I want to talk to people. I want to understand, different worldviews. I want to understand what it's like to live or to experience different things. And so there's someone that I want to have on who has a hidden illness and, hear about what life is like living with that like hidden illness basically. Because it's so different than, my own challenges and the way that I live my own life. I also, I haven't even talked to all these people yet, but there are different people in my life who have incredible careers or different things that they're working on. Some of those include, I know people in food journalism, people in medical school, people in law school, people doing their PhDs at incredibly prestigious universities, all of that kind of stuff. And so I don't know, I would love to have these people on that I know in my life, but I would also love to have people on who I don't know, who also just have like valuable stories to tell. I think anthropology is all about understanding the human experience and connecting over, different things. And that's what I would love for this to become. So it's going to take me a little while, obviously, to build up a repertoire of people who I can like interview and reach out to and all of that kind of stuff. So if you guys have any tips, or if you potentially would want to come on the show, which is what we're going to be calling it now because it's the real deal, let me know, because that would be great. I'm going to figure out how to logistically do all of this, but we're going to make it big and we're going to make it great. This is going to be freaking awesome. I would also love to interview anthropologists because, I mean, most of my anthropology connections are at UCLA, which is a great place to start. And so I'd love to talk to them and talk to them about their research, and also just like poignant things in the news. Like when the wildfires were happening in LA this year, I was so heartbroken, so devastated over everything that was going on. And I wanted to talk to the firefighters. I wanted to talk to the people that lost their homes. Like, these are the people that I want to talk to. I want to share their stories and learn. I feel like there's so much that I can learn from them and things like that, just big things like in the world, but it's hard to find those people. And so, yeah, I don't know exactly how I'm going to make all of this happen. And that's why we're making this video and I'm talking to you guys, and we're keeping it chill and we're keeping it laid back, because this is going to be a bit more of a podcast style. It's going to be a bit more about what I get up to. And the ultimate goal is going to be to share some kind of value. I don't want to just come on here and talk about my life just to talk about my life, which, hey, girl, I love a vlog. Okay. I love a vlog. I do. I eat them up. They're my favorite kinds of videos to watch. If I don't have something of value to offer to someone, I just don't think I can make it very entertaining. And so at the root of all of my videos is going to be humanity, being human, connecting people. Okay. That is like pillar number 1. And pillar number 2 is offering some kind of value, whether that's empathy or whether that's information or whatever. I don't know yet. So maybe if you know, again, leave it all in the comments down below. I am so committed to making all of this happen. But yeah, I'm a little bit yapped out. I can't lie. This video is going to be, I think, pretty uncut. There'll be a few cuts here and there just for like water breaks and stuff like that. But yeah, we are going to just see how this goes. I'm getting pretty tired, like I said. So the last thing that I want to ask you guys to do for me is, at some point I want to do a Q&A. I want to get caught up because I know I didn't answer all of your questions. So leave me some questions down below, and also some tips about how I can transform this into a really valuable and interesting like podcast and like life space, because I want to give you guys what you want. And if there's a way to do that where an anthropologist who I can interview, please tell me. If you know someone who is affected by something going on in the news, tell me. Like, I want to know. And so we're going to have to set up some sort of like email situation or like submit to be on the show. I don't know, guys. I don't know. And there'll be other times when I'm just talking about valuable things. I really am not sure. And now I'm getting to a point where I keep saying I'm not sure. So yeah, leave your questions for me down below. Leave your tips and all of that good stuff down below, because I want to hear it. And yes, thank you so much for your patience. I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Don't forget to check out my book channel also. Gonna link that. So sorry, that was probably so loud. Gonna link that in the description, because I'm very active over there. If you're into like fantasy and romance books and all that kind of stuff, that's where I go for fun. And yeah, I will see you guys soon, and we are going to sustain this. We are, and I'm really excited. Big things are coming for real, and it's all because of you guys. So thank you. I need your help. I will see you soon. Bye.